and ESEA.
Welcome back to ESL Pro League. On a wide shot, it's craziness here at ESL Pro League. We're switching up everything. Not anymore. We're back to it.
Yeah, the music wasn't on, so I wasn't dancing.
Yeah,
they shouldn't tell me next time. If they just play the music in, they might catch me.
Yeah. What kind of dance music do you do?
I think it's called muzzing.
Okay, let's have a look. Here we go.
No,
It needs
to be impromptu. They need to catch me.
Oh, there's a Reddit clip. That would have been great publicity, great content you could have had there. HellRaisers FaZe, first map's up, Train is down. HellRaisers took that one, surprising. Is that kind of as a warm-up game? Are they ready for cash now?
I think so.
They need it.
This will be a bit of a stomping, I think. I said that bated breath, chat, but I think they're coming back into it. It's going to be a nice little 16-5.
You know this is HellRaisers' best map.
Yeah, but this is where FaZe, when the project first started, is where they made their name. This is where they got the big results. So they got the 16 zeros.
Over VP, yeah.
Yeah, this is where it all began a long time ago. One player remaining from that original team. Yeah. One player remaining.
I like this. I like this line of talk.
It's a great map for the Fraggers. We did say on paper, much better in terms of firepower across the board. Cash lends itself, as you would know, Chad, playing in the weekends.
Yeah.
From we experienced it, we felt it. Superior players will always come out on top on this map, I think, anyway. And obviously it has the hybrid sort of style. You have the executions coming in as well. HellRaisers are very good on this indeed, but I do feel like there was a slow burner for FaZe overall. I didn't think they got into it until the second half.
Didn't these two teams play this map? Star Ladder.
Yeah, they did.
I don't remember who won that. Was it HellRaisers?
Pretty sure FaZe won 16-14.
Okay,
Cash,
unless I'm wrong.
No, HellRaisers won 16-10.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not a good sign for Henry's prediction. But
I stand by him.
Some of the small things which I noticed that FaZe were doing on their T side, where they got those very few rounds on Train, was it was an individual taking a risk to find a pick. On case you can do that a little bit more, those risks, they'll come in handy, and you're not going to get punished as hard. So we might see, hopefully, them with a better T side start. That's really troubled them on Train, and hopefully that doesn't come into this map.
Yeah, hopefully we see a lot of better things from FaZe in this game, because they're going to need it. It's too late in the season to be dropping matches like this, so they need to bounce back, go 1-1 for the evening. And to see if they're going to do it, it's going to be the voices of Pansy and Uber once again.
Sorry, Chad. Come again? All right, he's going to freak out. He's going to start muzzing again in a second. Yeah, so this is obviously kind of do or die for FaZe if they're looking at playoff contention here. They're sitting in the middle of the field. They're, what, 13-10 now, I think, in score?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, it could go either way from here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're in 6th place. This basically opens it up now to teams like Envious and Fnatic to do some damage. Now, you know, also I guess that plays favorably towards FaZe is that Na'Vi have slipped a little in performance, who are currently the team ahead of them. Now,
they lost to Misfits in the best of
looking
three,
at what's remaining, Envy play Astralis, so you'd imagine Astralis win that if you go, you know, on paper quite easily. But Fnatic play Mousesports, again, two tough teams. So again, this is going to make it very, very close around that kind of 4th to, I guess, 8th position. Around that market, everyone's really vying out for those final couple of points. So FaZe really do need this one on the board if they want to stand a chance at actually really, you know, securing their spot.
Yeah, I mean, talking to Fnatic, we'd love to see them in an event sometime soon as well. It's been a little bit quiet as of late, although it has been a bit of a, you know, interesting period. They didn't obviously represent at tours. They weren't in Sydney, of course. So.
Now, do remember, of course, even outside of this game, is the fact that FaZe are still playing G2 later on. That's on Thursday. So there is still another redemption opportunity, but you don't want to have to come down to that and depend on other teams' results. So for FaZe, getting at least a 1-1 here is good. For HellRaisers, again, they're in that same predicament where they want to just avoid that bottom half of the standings. They don't want to go down, you know, dip any further. They're currently, I think, in 11th. I don't know if that's including this game. So if they get another win, that kind of boosts them up out of that bottom pack of 4 teams.
I think they're actually 9th after that last win because they got a better round difference, I think, than NIP. So it's not bad. I mean, you're starting to get close to the upper echelons here of the ladder, but still, it's a long way to go. Pistol now. HellRaisers on that T side, and Keo is just rather disciplined. I don't know if he saw the player drop down here. He's actually giving a bit of ground now in mid, so he might be the case, but that's a huge amount of damage towards Nico. Good response, though.
Yeah, nice trade, though. Comes back in, and they instantly switch up to the B hit. So it comes down to Alu landing at least a shot, buying some time. This is a little bit one and done, this spot as well, and you can see the two players in checkers playing out the bait game, basically. It has bought a bit of time, but a good trade comes in. Dead Fox will find Alu, but it was Keo finding Bondik. So back and forth. It does put FaZe still in a very viable position, but Rain challenging him very early here opens up a drastic opportunity. And the bomb not yet to be picked up. Now it is in the hands of Dead Fox. Cross comes through. Keo takes the shot on the first, doesn't find it on the second, of course. Now it's basically retake time. No kits on FaZe either.
Yeah, he's committed to this now. Keo needs to land these shots. He gets one. 0 eventually falls, but still Dead Fox on the side with 3 kills in this round. Keo's dropped. He's made sound. It's not going to go towards Generator here, but nice little slide out. Headshot from Dead Fox. Beautiful.
4 kills as well. Very nicely done. That was a very close round as well. Now, if you're FaZe, you might consider your options on this and go right back in on the buy. Of course they will. No worries about that one. Not too surprising. Let's see what they can get here, though, because they know they've got HellRaisers on a bit of a knife's edge. A couple of UMPs for HellRaisers. 1 rifle on Sticker and a Galil coming on 0. And the Nova on Alu. He's feeling it. He's feeling the Nova.
Well, I mean, this is the kind of map where you can get away with playing up close and using pistols, shotguns, and all the rest here to try and catch people out. I'll have to see where Ali wants to play with that later on. Right now, he's just playing around the smoke inside B main. Angel's gotten himself into mid here. No presence at highway. It'll be Nico again to try and deliver some long-range damage as he did in the previous round. You know what Nico looks like on this map with the Deagle. We've seen it before.
This is nice from HellRaisers. They're winning mid control every single time so far, but FaZe early posturing towards B this time. Maybe getting a good read into how HellRaisers like to approach this. 3 players here. Now, of course, they are working with lesser weapons, but if Alu can get 2 maybe, or do something quite interesting, that'd be nice. Gets 1. Can't really back away now. That's where the problem begins. As soon as they get to checkers, that's where it all gets a bit hairy. And oh, Rain, hello, with Keo in tow, both of them with the Deagles blazing. He's going to put it down to Bondic to try and recover this round. He does have a Galil, he does have a Molly, he does have a Smoke, and he also has a double! That's impressive, and now it's just down to the 1v1. Nico up against Bondic, and Bondic predicts the position. Nico gets deleted, and HellRaisers hold on again.
That is so sick from Bondic, and he had such a huge advantage with where the smoke was placed up on Heaven there. He sees the feet first of Nico, and it's a comfortable spray in him with the Galil weapon. We just don't see much of at the moment. Lovely stuff here. Individual performances so far have highlighted these last 2 rounds for HellRaisers, and FaZe Clan look like they were going to win one of those infamous, FaZe Clan forces. That's not going to happen here. And that's definitely, one of the aces up their sleeve now gone to waste. Oh, okay, boys, filter in. It's going to be 5 players rushing down Sticko here as well in the middle of the map. He stalls for a little bit of a while, and now it's going to be Zero to come in with a bit of a spray down. One of the time off. Thank you, I'll take it. Up into the air as well, and that was pretty well done.
All very nicely done so far. HellRaisers keep things decent for themselves. A little bit of buffer on the money too, which is always lovely to have. And for FaZe, they've gone right into this now. Alu has got himself an AWP nice and early, but it's trying to control that mid control that's been coming out from HellRaisers. It's been very, very tricky, it seems, for FaZe so far. This could be the swing factor, though. Alu actually with an AWP, and a lot more attention towards it. 3 players this round early here, but they do like the boost, and Carrigan getting it up close. See the information he gets. Oh, the dink, that's going to give away so much. Sicko now knows there's a player close by as well, and HellRaisers might need to abort out of this for a little while and just slow it down. Try and regain this control as they go.
It's devastating as well to give away a position in mid so early on here. Now, Zero, he just knows where to look because he knows how far Carrigan had pushed himself. Ugly stuff. Doesn't even need to hear the vent being broken from the CT side because he knew he'd be so close with the dink sound. So communication pays off, and FaZe already at a 1-man disadvantage early in the round. Dead Fox is low and so is Angel, so the early damage has actually been in favour of FaZe here. They've got to capitalise on that now in the mid-round.
We'll see if they can actually close this one out. They're playing smart, they're playing quite passive. You can see that Nico. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. The man is a beast mechanically, isn't he?
He plays that spot so well too.
Alu's going to be the next under pressure. That's where the hit's going to come in. 3 players here. He's going to just opt for checkers. They are already starting to filter towards the site, but Keo's there to play babysitter, and it's done really well for FaZe. But that's a big bit of impact from Nico there. You've got to say it, and I love this. Just slides off the door and claims Bondic.
We've seen this quite a few times, that Nico often plays above the doorway. We see him, he hears when it's banged out, because there's obviously a light just above the door you can stand on. So he knows when the door's open, he just drops down like Batman and gets a kill. In that case, he didn't have to. Just straight through the doorway. Really nice from FaZe, and a relatively clean round as well, given the HellRaisers got out to such a lead. And well, HellRaisers haven't actually built that much of an economy yet, so you can see that little UMP, Tech 9, Galil.
And Carrigan going to go for the push up towards B a little. That allows Alu to have a bit of a peek and then just back away and leave it. Carrigan can be the early warning system now. HellRaisers going to go for the B hit, excuse me, the A hit it looks like. 3 towards Squeaky, and this, not pretty. Rain going to find it. Nico, they're just going to bang through the door, no worries on that one. Angel, though, does break through by Forklift, and that's a problem. When did the Galil get this good?
Depends who's wielding it, I suppose. Lauren, Alu's going to fall as well. This is getting ugly. First Bondic, now Angel going for it. Beautiful stuff. 4 kills in the round and an AWP. What a turnaround for HellRaisers. Huge disadvantage for them early in the round, and Angel's just gone 1 by 1.
Yeah, all individual fights. I guess you don't expect him to do that sort of thing, but that was all FaZe's round. They had it in the pocket, and that was just brilliant, brilliant stuff. You know, the Galil isn't known for being one of those weapons that people can depend on these days, but it really held its own there in his hand. So more credit, more power to him. And now we're going to see the boost in mid, just in case they went for that pistol rush again, straight towards him. Nice little read from HellRaisers, I guess, just kind of understanding what FaZe like to do in these rounds. But for HellRaisers, this should be a clean round. They should be able to kind of approach this with a nice dead set mentality of just keeping as many alive, keep it comfortable.
I think it's almost worth bringing up the psychological impact of losing a round like that for FaZe as well. They were like a 5v3, 5v2 almost before Bonded got involved there. That's really going to tilt you, especially how the last game went. And it messes their economy up. They never got a chance to build it. And then they give HellRaisers that same opportunity here. Oh, they really need to do some incredible things in this round, Lauren. I wouldn't put it past them, but again, it's been a super quiet performance from FaZe, and Nico definitely being one of them there as well, and it continues. The headshot sends him toppling backwards off that red container, and now FaZe trying to play close into smoke, but Angel sprayed through the smoke, got a lot of damage done earlier on here, and it's just one by one. Carrigan now. Very short-lived experience.
4 alive. Bomb down at the end. Not bad, good stuff. Back on the buy for FaZe, but HellRaisers really do seem to have control on this map so far. It just seems to be all going very favorably to them. Zero's had enough of the Galil. Gonna go for the rifle, switch that one out. But yeah, as of yet, we haven't really seen FaZe taking back much control here. They're very limited on utility, no nades, no mollies, no kits. All gonna be in this round pretty much, and you can see that B kind of, I guess, lean at the moment from HellRaisers. We're gonna see Carrigan back here again towards checkers.
Carrigan almost expecting a second Molotov to follow from B main. It doesn't come though. It allows him to safely get out. Now played close in his corner. For a moment, turns anti-flash. Sticker making him dance for a moment there as well. It's like a knife thrower performance. But Carrigan unscathed, fortunately. Zero's already got into checkers behind him now as well. He'll be able to come in and get this one. Yeah.
God.
That's rough. That's really rough. Carrigan not expecting Zero to be where he was. The smoke preventing him from spotting him out. And this is looking ugly. This is just looking so ugly for FaZe Clan right now. And you save this. You have to.
Yeah, I'm kind of flabbergasted with how good HellRaisers are at the moment at punishing, but Carrigan whiffing like a champion there as well. A bit of a shame. He was in such a good position. I guess, you know, overload of sensory information. He basically worked out there were 3 players there. Yeah, there was 3 players through it. He saw this, you know, the utility being thrown in first and foremostly, and then the rest of Noel Alu could be in trouble here too.
For Nico, it's not the end of the world to give away the UMP here. It's nice and cheap. But it's a different story for Alu here. He wants this weapon. We know what his performances kind of look like when he doesn't have many rounds in which he gets it. That's a free kill here. Bonix there as well. Nice, gets himself a second here. Making it costly for HellRaisers, who still are working on their economy. And that's just annoying now. But again, it's still a smile on the face of HellRaisers. They get their 6th, they're 5 clear here. Carrigan's been not a great start.
No, really rough stuff. Just a little, you know, shaky, a little bit rusty. Just a little tired. It looks like it.
Yeah, and look, this is FaZe now. This is pretty well behaved though. See, they're not forcing. Some teams, I think VG did it a lot actually over in City, like forced really heavily around a saved AWP. They would like buy down to nothing and just cop the full eco round after that one. They had so much confidence in playing around it. Obviously, Orman is the kind of player that can give you that kind of confidence, but here, FaZe actually just don't spend too much.
No, and it looks like HellRaisers like this sort of B hit. They're so good at it as well. They clean out so well. Now Carrigan needs a kill here, not going to get it. 3 players fall on the side. There's still Keo on here, but they're going to probably expect the stack. I doubt he's going to be able to get too much. If anything, no. And now Alu, you might be able to save again, mate. Oh God, the timing on that. No, absolutely not.
Okay, that's pretty rough stuff. 6 rounds are in it now. FaZe Clan can buy back into this round, and for Alu, it's a little bit annoying. You would have liked to have had the AWP to save with, but this keeps his economy at least more in sync with the rest of his teams. It means FaZe actually can sort of hit those peaks and troughs at more of a similar time. But Carrigan has still not found a frag yet. Really been struggling on the CT side of all. They haven't been able to work any of that CT aggression here, Lauren, at all. Nico had some good, you know, pushing towards A main and got that kill in towards Squeaky before, but that's been pretty much it on that front from FaZe so far this game.
Smoke goes in towards B, and allow Carrigan to take a breath. Now, HellRaisers, their defaults seem to be working pretty well so far as well. Everything's working for them. Can't take it away.
They're hitting their shots and they're winning duels as well. Again, the oversimplified approach to an analysis here, but it's just very simple.
But you don't often see that against FaZe. That's why it is actually a big difference maker here, is that normally FaZe win those. They can play that style. They do depend a little bit on those kind of fights coming through. And look at this! Angel! Just completely trashing Keo.
Keo never really had a chance there. It's insane how quickly Angel made that correction. And that opens up so much of this map. It's unbelievable. HellRaisers now can go wherever they please because FaZe have to turtle up on these sites. They're not going for any CT aggression because it's too risky in a round like this.
Guess you got to risk it for a biscuit. Is he doing the one way in main, or is he just sat there?
I think he just sat off to the side of it.
Oh, he's doing the one way. So as long as the smoke's still up, he's got a really sweaty angle on this.
That's
but HellRaisers do have mid control. Now, Nico's molly actually works out, and Rain does eventually land the shot. Now he's in a bit of a predicament. How does he get out of this? Nico's having to control highway. Now there's an additional threat of main coming through here as well. Sticko finds him. Problematic to say the least. 2v2 now. HellRaisers probably going to be able to get that bomb across at some point. No. Smoke's just faded. Oh! Great timing on the flash and the play.
Oh, that's beautiful as well. Sticko in mid. Zero actually had to play that one really carefully. To go down an A and have Sticko left on highway, potentially being pinched out by 2 players would be really bad. We actually haven't seen FaZe Clan or either of these teams actually call tack pauses either tonight. Neither of these teams has opted to use that. And FaZe are now in the whole 7 rounds, losing one after another. Very interesting that they're just not interested in utilising that at the moment. That can be a problem.
I don't know.
You've got plenty of them. You got 2.
Yeah, I don't... It doesn't feel like FaZe are that focused in this. If I'm honest, it looks like they're going through the motions. And they still have that other game to play for in the Pro League, so it's not over for them yet. It just kind of puts things a little up in the air. You depend a little bit more on other results. And, this is, again, I can't take anything away from HellRaisers because they're playing so well individually. Yep. It's just there is no fight back from FaZe.
And HellRaisers are going to punish this. They're not going to walk into this game, they're not here to collect their paychecks, so to speak. Got a lot to prove. This is a young team that has given up a lot to sort of get here. I already mentioned Sticko, now leaving university to focus on his play. It's a huge sacrifice to make, so you're not going to just, come into a game and piss about. Yeah, it's the kind of criticism we used to level even teams like Flipside Tactics, actually, way back. It's like, these guys they've got legend status, I think, for that major, the last major, and, it seemed like they were just sort of coasting through on that. That was a criticism leveled at them. It's not obviously a full accusation. Not about that, but just drawing a comparison here, HellRaisers are very much of a different mindset, and they've really been improving lately.
And you think the confidence on HellRaisers as well, just coming out of being in the finals. Yeah, they didn't win it, but that's a big improvement, a big step up for these guys. They're probably feeling, they're on quite a high note in comparison to, I guess, FaZe, who are a bit. It seems they're more tired. They've taken, the worst side of how it kind of pans out, which is a shame. But still, 9-1 is a great result for HellRaisers, and they're going to opt for the double AWP here, FaZe. So I guess it's an all-in play.
Yeah, on the CT side, I mean, Nico picking it up here, which is interesting. Often we can't see Carrigan play. It's because Nico's playing that A site, and this round he's actually going to be doing it alone to start with. Because Rain's pushed into mid, okay. Fair enough. I mean, this is a round the HellRaisers are actually playing a lot faster.
just kind of walking in, staring it down. All right, I don't know what to say. What can you say about these games?
To be fair, what we've often seen, HellRaisers open with like a player up on boost. Don't really charge out of mid like that quite often. So theoretically, Rain can get up just below boost without being spotted in a round like that.
It's more, he wasn't even anti-flash. He was just running, staring at it. So it's just like, do you not expect people here? Like, HellRaisers has been good at taking mid control. Maybe not early. That was probably the difference maker, but still, yeah.
And it will forever be known as the Rain dance. Hoping for something that's never going to come, especially if you live in Australia.
It rained when we were in Sydney. Don't mind.
No, Sydney's different. Yeah, no, they're fun. We had lots of droughts there, in South Australia at least.
All right, Alu, what do you have for us? You got 3 players coming towards you. There's a smoke just been put out. You know where they are. He's going to sit and watch for. Ooh, okay, Nico's found the first. Now he's going to worry about the others, and that doesn't work out. Nico's just playing a bit of deathmatch. Just hoons it in. Doesn't wait for Keo. Doesn't have interest in that. Keo's gone around towards upper and just walks out.
10-1. You're not seeing things. If you just tuned in as well, we're probably about as flummoxed as you are. This is a very impressive performance by HellRaisers. To be fair, it's solid. Yeah, it's winning a lot of their duels. I mean, like a situation like a couple rounds ago at Keo, like for 1 second peaks mid around Sugar Cube and gets smashed by Angel. HellRaisers just on point now.
Yeah, no, Angel's having a great game, and this is the thing. A lot of people start discussing those HellRaisers players when it comes to, oh, Na'Vi, what are they going to do? How do they switch things up? Just keep running at middle, Rain. I like it. I like the dedication to it. You know what I mean? Like, if you just keep doing it every time.
So my point about him getting into the counter boost position before being spotted, I guess it isn't even valid, actually, given where we saw Rain get caught out. Is he trying to beat that position? He's trying to get there quicker? I'm not really sure. But this time, there was a player on boost. It was a slower start we often see by HellRaisers in terms of their mid policy, and he still got caught.
Yeah, overall, this one looks all but done. FaZe, hate to say it, but you just watch your team and they're just not playing how they should be playing. Even individually, they're very off. Karrigan gonna go for the fight. Actually hits that one, but instantly traded out. And it's Alu and Nico a mile away from being able to change how this round plays out. And the smoke comes in towards CT. Alu's gonna run through some smoke, takes the fight, jumps. And you can tell by my voice, I really enjoy this right now.
Well, there's no point making this out to be something that it's not, really.
Yeah.
This is uncharacteristic play from FaZe Clan. From the fundamental level, even up to the little things that we expect to see from these guys. All the things that you shouldn't expect to see from teams in CS, but FaZe deliver. Like that ridiculous individual prowess. Like that ability to win rounds that they shouldn't. They're not even winning rounds they should.
It's just disappointing to see. I like watching these guys play. It's normally brilliant, but it just seems like they're a bit checked out on this one. So it's very hard to kind of find the redeeming factors. But for now, what we do know is HellRaisers are in such a great spot off the back of this perfect money, all well set. A couple of players really kicking off. Angel and I think Zero's having a good game too. Yeah, it's all coming together for them. They haven't really been stretched at all. Nico's still, doing fine, but it's not like he's excelling either. They're just not able to handle anything. It doesn't really matter if they're having individual plays. It's, the collective.
So FaZe on their day probably win this round, 7 times out of 10.
Yeah, just because FaZe, they're like almost the new Fnatic, isn't it?
And it's cash. And their CT side, and their Force Pistols. This is the best situation for a team like FaZe to actually have that good odds of winning out. You can see what Alu's able to do there. It's aggressive play on that CT side, and he manages to come out on top. Gets himself an AK. Now the pressure comes in. Angel falls. But Nico, I believe, was standing just behind Alu. I think he fell.
I think he was just to the right side of him. So he kind of fell into I guess the bait of it all. Alu kind of, not baited him on purpose, but it's just how it kind of panned out. Yeah, it was just to the right there. So a bit of a shame for him, but it's fine. You would expect Alu to go back to this. You'd kind of expect him to back away. So he's trying to kind of play the odds here individually, of course. Just no, surely they don't think I'm still here. So who would think I'm still here? Who would peek this angle? Well, Zero will. Zero's being methodical in these checks, and Alu again rises to the occasion. 3 kills now. That's
really nice from him. He had to challenge that. He actually had no choice. It's good that he actually made it work. So here we go. It's one of those rounds that you want to see FaZe win. They still only got the 1 AK to work with. Now they're down to just the pistols, but it doesn't matter. Keo receives Sticko as he tries to come through from A main, not biting off more than he can chew. Then comes back in for a second. That's old FaZe. Or current FaZe, or just not right now FaZe.
Not today FaZe, which is fine. Do you know what? You don't have to be on all days. Okay, yeah, they deserve a break. They're a little tired. It's all right.
Yeah, do it in a game where it doesn't decide whether you qualify to a LAN finals or not.
Oh,
hello. And,
I love that background though. We're so dedicated to ESL. On to the observer feed. Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah, that's my background at home as well.
Oh God, it's all going wrong.
No one saw the password,
Jesus.
of course.
Help us. But I can tell you what's happening in this round. We are a little bit further ahead on our feed. This is the delayed one, so you get those nice cinematic shots. So far, it's actually a very slow round from HellRaisers. They've actually not played anything at all into this one. They're doing that slow default throughout the map, maybe trying to feel out where those AWPs are, have a little look through, and they're just taking over that B control. A couple of flashes being put through. You see that shot coming out there. That was from Dead Fox. Now, he doesn't land it, though. So he kind of gives away that maybe they're tendering towards it. Keo's going to get himself into a good position in mid as well with Alu. They're both being quite aggressive. This is Alu working his way up here. So finally, FaZe being quite active in this, and it does look as though we are back onto the correct feed.
Yeah, of a sort. We'll have to wait a little bit for sound here, so we just need to deal with that. So HellRaisers, good start to the round. They lost a player in mid-care of Alu. They've got a double AWP coming back in again, and this is obviously a gamble from FaZe. They need to sort of get a couple more rounds on the board. Sticko, not great timing. Turns his head away at the wrong moment, and it's Dead Fox all on his own now. Finds 1. There's still 3 to go for here. It's going to be Rain pushing up on his right side. Oh, that's nice. Karrigan on his left. But that's all he's going to have for that round here, and FaZe get themselves at least a slightly more respectable round total. Now, on the previous map, it was Train. It was T-side. We know that is a bit more biased towards the CT side. It was probably more acceptable there than it is here.
Now, did Nico drop too much then? I know there's a gun on the floor, but I'm not sure if he dropped an M4 and didn't buy utility instead. So he might have just...
Yeah.
I think he made a little error there, but Ah, well, it's all good. It is fine. You got 3 rounds. That's not the biggest one of your problems. For now, it's HellRaisers putting 3 players towards Dora. This so far has worked quite well. Nico did kind of dismantle it once when he was on top of Boost, you know, over by, I guess people call it Shroud or whatever you want to call it. Now it looks like he's going to do it again. Nice collateral as well, but plays back in quite early. That allows Dead Fox the opportunity to trade into this one. Rain, playing well from Highway, though, will at least keep it even. 3v3.
And Angel picks up one there as well. He's already pushed quite deep on towards his site here, and HellRaisers have control. And this is Keo. He's got to go. Good work, though. The timing is on his side. He catches Sticko as he tries to let a Molotov go, but Angel has been overlooked so far. He's sitting back over towards that forklift, and now Alu Gotta come back into this one. Do something about it. It's the no-scope. Ridiculous. Okay. Zero now with an AK. Alu switches up. That's going to give him a better chance now in this 1v1 as the bomb ticks away. And Zero wants to try and wait this one out. He's low. 5 health, but he gets some free damage on towards Alu. That's huge.
5 HP. He's got a molly as well. He can buy time. And Alu doesn't know this, of course, and he's going to slowly work his way around. Guess where Zero's gone. And Zero's just playing it cool, calm, and collected from quad. Alu still thinks he might be on the site doing ring of roses, and Zero wins it out. What a way to end the half here. HellRaisers, you know, credit where it's due. Yeah, FaZe are off. Yeah, they look tired. Yeah, they look sluggish. But HellRaisers haven't given them a second to breathe. They brought a great game overall. It looks, you know, I guess classically well-formed, you know, the way they're approaching rounds. They haven't kind of let it get to their heads that they're, you know, trashing out FaZe here. They are staying focused throughout, and every individual player seems to be delivering.
It's looking good so far for HellRaisers. Another 12-3 scoreline at half-time. Let's see after the break if they can convert this into another win. Another 12-3 scoreline at half-time, and this time it actually does kind of tell the whole story. FaZe Clan have struggled in a big way to get any sort of momentum built up against the HellRaisers team, who seem to be well-drilled, disciplined, and on point. Yeah,
it's been just a very one-sided display, but you know, all credit to HellRaisers. You can't feel sorry for FaZe. They are a world-beating team, and this was one of the only rounds where they looked like they had a bit of bite to them, and that was basically all Alu.
I love how the highlights were just FaZe frags, even though we were just pointed out the fact that they were getting dumpstered. But yeah, you can see the score right there, 12-3. Not what you want to see, definitely.
No, bit of shambles. Let's be honest about it. It really a bit of a disappointment for these guys, but it is what it is. You can't do much about it. It's got to just move it aside. They kind of brought back a couple of rounds on train. We almost saw it going towards OT, but I just don't feel as though they're going to do the same thing here. HellRaisers look way more robust on this as well. They're going in towards their CT side here too, which is even better for them. They can just kind of coast it out. So as long as they win the pistol, you got to feel HellRaisers, well, they've got this one in the bag.
Yeah, and if they don't though, yeah, exactly. If HellRaisers win the pistol, it's done. Bear in mind as well, if you win the pistol and you win the first gun round, you've actually got yourself, like, on both sides, you've actually got yourself like 10 rounds. It's 10-0 if you want to look at it that way. So last map, the pistol win was what let FaZe back into the game and actually let them make it so competitive over it. They eventually got to 16-12 eventually. So that will be how HellRaisers want to lock things out. We always talk about, you know, the pistol round here is a must win, and most of the rounds from here on out are. And when FaZe actually started getting some rounds in, they just didn't have much of a buffer, much of a margin of error with HellRaisers being so close to that critical 16 rounds.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing two teams in a very different state mentally. You know, HellRaisers coming back in very confident, feeling quite good about it all. They're finishing tours, not ideal. Of course, you want to win it out, but they did very well, very respectable scoreline. Kind of turned a couple of heads. So
yeah, and that was kind of like the return of Kenny S though as well. That tournament
how
was
can you deal
so
with that?
good for him. And yeah, he's that kind of player. You kind of say like, what do you do? It's kind of same as a Fallen or an Eco or something. How do you deal with these players when they're really performing? So credit to HellRaisers. It's not a terrible result even to lose out to that French squad, the super team, maybe starting to come into their own.
Look at this buy from FaZe.
Okay,
so do you remember what I was
taking
saying
the piss.
where they don't seem to be playing their normal game?
What are you doing?
It's gonna work though. That's the sad
Okay,
fact.
well, I mean,
no, good stuff. Thank you.
we can at least try and put some method to the madness here. Obviously,
there is none. They're just.
yeah. And it might still work, right? That could be the thing for this kind of team as well. When you can rely on that individual prowess to such a great degree, it's working here, right? Like, Bondic finds Carrigan though as well, and if you play safe with his USPs, it's pretty annoying to try and deal with you with such a low fire rate weapon. Just pick those corners constantly. Nico's left the game, so that's the direction we're going in right now. I do have to wonder what that is. Would be a pause called after the break, presumably. Bondic goes down. I'm so done. How do you make this out into something legitimate, Lauren? How do you?
Because this is the next meta, right? We know the pistols are broken, so they're just gonna like push it as far as they can. FaZe, they're the next level thinkers, they're next level gamers. HellRaisers are in the old meta. They don't understand what's about to happen.
They're not even playing the same game anymore, but they've got the bomb down.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna work. See, I told you they're just next level gamers. It's so smart. They're so focused. They've come back in. There's no jet lag. They're not tilted. They're fine. They're just really big fans of the Deagle. Dead folks, just don't worry about it. Just I don't know, just jump off a ledge or something in the game. Just find somewhere where you can. Oh no, he's ruining things. He's got a kit. No, he doesn't have time. Get a Deagle though.
Nope.
We know it works.
Nope, he's not having that.
No Deagles. No. See, FaZe, I always believed in you. You're very smart. You've got Nico there. You know they all can Deagle.
I'm not doubting these guys ever again.
And they're going to buy straight up rifles.
Yep.
See, this is what I like. They're just next level thinkers, and no one can really understand.
Well, I don't personally, but I'm more than happy to put that down to them knowing something that I don't. Let's move on. It's going to be HellRaisers now to just force back in some pistols here as well. Maybe slightly incensed by the fact that FaZe took such a unorthodox buy against them. There's going to be a lot of players coming over the top here, and Keo just barrels down in towards Sticko.
Maybe they've been doing some the warm-up bots in between on the half. Just feeling a little bit fresher. Maybe not. Maybe they're just playing against an unarmored CT side.
HellRaisers got to warm up against bots last half, so it's fine.
Flamer. It's not Henry G playing. All right, you can't just start kicking off. All right, caster, stop flame player.
Yeah, stop talk, stop flame.
Stop yell.
Start game, resident sleeper. Well, I mean, if they're going to have some fun with it, Lauren, we are too. We're jet lagged as well. That was nice from Ali, though. Picks the head off of Bondic here. And FaZe, to be fair, playing this one fairly slow. That's all they have to do here. It's fairly conservatively done. But that's all it makes it out to be a very clean round for them here as well. And so, considering they make a buy like this in round 2 as well, this kind of just shores things up fairly nicely. Ensures they can't really be punished too heavily for it. And that's totally fine. HellRaisers now. Not a lot going on for them. They obviously forced in that last round and got nothing for it. So now it's time to behave.
Behave.
Exactly.
Well, let's see if they can build up some money. Get back into the matchup. God, if they turn this one around after that bloody Deagle round. What can you say about that one? Garrigan. Moving down a little bit of utility towards mid. There was a 4-man stack there from HellRaisers, so that's good timing on that one. Alu going to be looking towards B, and actually it's a vacant site, so perfect place to be going towards. Sticko there from up above, keeping eyes across. A little bit of damage, but more done right back at him. Nico going to find him and take him off the map.
Double spray down for Keo. Pretty comfortable here. HellRaisers obviously buying very little into this round. A little bit of an investment. Obviously, you can see the presence of some of these P250s here, but again, a second clean round in a row for FaZe is really nice. It's going to give them that springboard now into the later stages of the half, exactly what they made use of on train, and they really started to establish themselves. But as the first buy for HellRaisers to come in, Deadfox has enough for the AWP, although, yeah, it will be that. He can get himself some armor. Nicely done. Don't worry about it. Helmet up against AKs, all good. 6 rounds lead for HellRaisers here, and they're looking to start things off now in the second half to close it out.
This is the split mid. Rush has done a pro tip on this one.
Yeah.
Check it out. Don't know if we upload them, but we've done it. Just troll through all the VODs and look at the breaks.
Yeah, look at my lovely stand-up segment as well.
Now, the one thing that works really well about this is it could actually pressure Deadfox quite severely because Nico and Rain eventually will start splitting through the vents. But he's still kind of sticking around here. He's got a good spot just because that smoke plays so well towards him. And no pressure comes out, but he doesn't land the shot towards Alu. So back in again. Zero now caught out. That's a problem. 4 players start pouring towards him, but he adjusts well, but he tries to find an angle he can work with.
Oh, that could be dangerous. No, it's going to be okay. Keo and another player, I think it was Alu right behind him there, over towards Generator. And this is what comebacks are made of, Lauren. I'll be honest with you. This is not done.
Is it dusted?
No. Isn't it? It's done before it's dusted, right?
Yeah, done dusted.
Yeah, so it can't be dusted if it's not done. Yeah, pretty basic, but just logic, Lauren, really.
You're calling me basic, Mitch. Please help.
This is not going to go there at all. Bondic and Angel now going to set up over in towards that CT. You're not basic, Lauren, it's fine. You just like bath salts and chicken nuggets. There's nothing wrong with that. No one else likes to do that. It's actually quite unique.
Look, I'm a special person. Anyway, save time. Ooh, Alu just found one. Bondic keeps the dream alive. Rain's keeping hold of the AWP. That's no worries on that. And the money's great for FaZe because they are thinking next level strats. They knew those deagles would work out. It's a spicy meatball.
Again, if anyone was going to make it work, it will be FaZe. Their conversion rate from those pistol force buys is bordering on disgusting at the moment, and it's just kind of nice we have a team in the world that can do that. I mean, people, okay, you know, the efficacy of pistols in Counter-Strike is obviously a discussion point for a lot of people, but it works with FaZe. They understand the game and they make it happen. Alu, that's an uncharacteristic miss after the first two.
Stand there and keep shooting. Why not? Sticko was just wondering, how am I alive?
What's AWP? Sticko's going to go for it in mid.
And he might, I don't know if he's going to get away with it. There's still Nico around mid, and yeah, he's going to at least kind of trade it out and just kind of keep it away from him. That's a nice bit of silver lining. He even found 0-2. So Bomb's now down, and Bollock was one with the rifle, so he wants to keep that up and probably just save it somewhere. He's going to kind of bait the door open, so he thinks that they've run that away, or he's run that away.
Bondic now over at A. The bomb down. So, yeah, HellRaisers forced now into some situations where they just have to try and save and keep those guns in. Bondic obviously kept his from the last round and had to gun down 2 members of FaZe as they tried to yank it away from him. And the money story is maybe, I guess, the more concerning point here. As it stands, I think the most rich player on HellRaisers has 2,800. Don't fall for it, Bondic. He gets that second kill as well. Will it be a third? The bullets weren't there. Peek out again? No. Rain not going to stand for that kind of a travesty, so he'll recover the AWP, and FaZe Clan keep rolling on. Money's looking extremely good. They're going to be able to buy for the next 2 or 3. The only issue is maybe Keo and Nico are low, so that would force out sort of a, you know, a buy and throw the weapons to your teammates. So we need to look more at the lowest amount of money on FaZe than the highest if you're thinking about how they buy the next few rounds.
All right, FaZe, can you do it against the gun round, or if HellRaisers just kind of let this slip a little? There was no window to be opened here for FaZe. There really wasn't. This game should have been a bit of a slam dunk, but it's not been. There has been that retaliation from FaZe, and they aren't letting it slip just yet. Deadfox, though, goes for the shot. He's going to get it. Keo gets removed from B, and there's actually no one else to pressure it. So this is going to, if anything, encourage FaZe to now go on the hit. You can see it now coming through. Smokes go in, and Rain just goes charging out. Goes for another as well.
So sick.
So confident there. Going for this one, and Sticko just can't land the shot. Rain brings it home for FaZe. 3 big kills. Backs away and says to the rest of the team, all right, you pick it up.
And this is the kind of explosive power that a player like Rain has. Think back to Cobblestone versus Astralis in the semi-final in Sydney. It was a stacked sight for Astralis. 4 players, and Rain on his own just wangs his way in there and kills them all. This is the kind of power that kind of player has when he's on form or when he's feeling it. It's been a rough night for FaZe, but that, again, there's a round-winning effort from him. 1 point of health left, and it's all wrapped up nicely in a bow. FaZe with another one. Their economy's building up even more. Going to keep it nice and stable, and this is now starting to get a bit scary for HellRaisers.
Yeah, and you can see Bondic just caught out by the timing. Basically, all of those players completely baffled. The third was a bit of a battle between each other, but yeah, that was all Rain just kind of punishing them, not expecting him to walk out at that sort of pace and just take that fight. No one watching it, no one actively considering that being a possibility. And
you can see that 9 AK kills and 2 M4 kills. You can see how much more success he's having on this half as well. Also, it's a sign of the economy being a little bit better for FaZe, which is important. Carrigan gets involved though. Waiting in Sunroom. HellRaisers go for a little bit of aggression out of B main. They had no smoke to really cover their tracks and get up close here, so they had to do it But Angel catches Keo. It won't amount to much. It's not a recovered weapon either. And again, FaZe to win this map, it's not all over. I mean, they still put themselves in a decent spot if they want to go to playoffs. So they've got one more match left, I think. So.
Yeah, now FaZe going to rally towards that A site. You're going to have Bondic. He does at least have the rifle, but I can imagine with the amount of mollies and utility that FaZe have, it's near on impossible. Alu predicts it, readies the gun. Arms to bear, and, well, Sticko and Angel just going to have to watch the cross, and you're not going to get much out of that one.
Very clean. FaZe have had so much success on this A hit. Even easier when the other team doesn't really have any weapons. So, I mean, HellRaisers has been put in a position that FaZe Clan were in that earlier half, the first half. Haven't really built up an economy. deadFox has been playing very aggressively over towards B and B main, often putting himself in one-and-done positions, you know, pushing up aggressively towards Checkers or just standing in B main. As he tries to get out of Checkers, gets caught out on his way through as a smoke dissipates or something similar. He hasn't really been able to maintain that at all. And that's a problem, especially for a player like him. Now, we talked about this on the desk in Sydney. It's like, why do AWP players, I mean, this might seem obvious, but why do AWP players not play well when the economy's not there? You know, they're not getting, they might be getting rifles of some sort, but it's not the way they like to play the game. People level criticism at them quite often saying, well, this guy just falls off if he can't get money, if he can't get an AWP, but that's just the way they play the game. As was Chad, I believe, explained that. Which might seem really obvious, of course.
Chad's there for all mental ages, you know? He likes to help out even the slowest. Got people out there, which is nice. 12 to 10 though, FaZe actually bring this game back in, and I don't know what to say about this one. It's just, it's a weird game, right? You watch FaZe playing and it was just so shoddy, and then you see the power they can bring out. It's like, where was this? Where was this on your CT side at all?
Again, you know, it goes hand in hand with their economy as well. Give them a few rounds and that confidence. Let them get running. Even if they're eco-fragging, it's a big momentum builder. Now they need to sort of ease back into, you know, playing from, you know, not a live event, playing more online CS, which definitely has its trappings. We'll see if HellRaisers can actually, you know, put them at bay here. FaZe Clan got very close to taking the victory on Train, and HellRaisers just edged it out. So it's a very similar situation that we saw.
Alu with the AWP towards mid. Peeks up and over. There is a player towards highway, that being Angel. He's only got a flash left now, so actually controlling this is going to be quite tricky, and no one's really there to help him. You can see Bondic now pulling himself down towards highway. There are, ooh, Alu, this could be big if he goes for this sort of shot. We'll see how it goes for him. Angel not flashed though, but so unawares. And Alu did not expect the other player to be that close on highway. Good positioning from Bondic to support the very vulnerable position in mid there.
Rain keeping on lock there as well again. Just waltzes onto that A side. It's incredible how he converts from these entries. It's just nuts. Sticker with one frag already in this round, but FaZe Clan put that bomb down. The plus side is, there's a bit of utility for Sticko here. And with that, he can clear forklift at least, and that's now going to narrow down the potential positions of FaZe. It's a flash into main. He'd love to have been out of smoke main here, but he's used that already, of course. Time's already taken down. The kit is there. Doesn't take the AWP, of course. And the A-main player might cause him some problems there. Nico gives himself away by throwing that flash. It doesn't really matter, though, because he's got a player up towards Squeaky. Nico needs to respect, needs to be careful. Tickling the bomb, Sticko is. Door opens in front of him, tries to spray him through. It was trying to be his early warning system, so at least knew it would be there, but rained straight through the door.
Got a little bit tricky there. You know, you almost felt that if he got that kill towards Nico, maybe there was a bit more play to be had, but no. And we're almost back at 12-12. And HellRaisers' money is pretty bad. They can force together a bit of a buy here. It's going to be UMPs, maybe something more than that. Sticko, what are you going to go for here? Deagle armor. deadFox very light, of course, eyeing up the AWP down the line as soon as he can. Alu with a decent spawn, going to take himself towards mid. Smoke goes up. And not much else to follow. Falls back in, goes for the spam, but they are actually getting very close in middle, so he might be rushed down if he's not careful.
And they do this with the cover of smoke as well. It's not just like Rain, where he sort of just runs it down and tries to, you know, take a jewel in the middle of the map or something like that. There's a potential for a counter boost here once the mollies subside. HellRaisers won't see a lot, though. That's the problem. There's a lot going on in A-main, and Bondic can communicate this. So it could be a late flank for HellRaisers, but FaZe are going to be pretty quick out of the gates, and Rain was ready for that one. Really nice. Again, first 2 kills of the round go to him.
But the HP is pretty low for FaZe. Now, who's left standing to do damage? Sticko and Zero are the only two. Now, deadFox gets found really, really quickly, and you can see Sticko trying to put himself towards that MBK corner. Now, all of FaZe are here. There's 1 minute left. They can abort out of this, and there goes one of the big heavy hitters, and therefore it's the other. That could have been different. That could have been a couple of kills going through. You had 11 HP, 19, a couple of bits for the Deagle. Yep. but not to be. And the money's so robust now for FaZe, it's kind of worrying. But for HellRaisers, it's do or die time. They've just let that score trickle away from them.
And you know what? Yeah, not around in this half at all. And we spent a lot of time sort of ragging on FaZe Clan for their CT side performance. It seems both of these two teams, it was the T side on, CT side on Train, sorry, and now it's the T side, of course, on Cash, where they're both having great success, or vice versa, not much success on the other side. So really, just as bad as each other in that sense, if you want to put it that way. FaZe Clan can almost buy for the rest of the game at this stage. They're looking really nice. At least the rest of regulation, but that's a beautiful pick. Alu couldn't even see that coming. Is this where HellRaisers come back into the game?
No way. You tease them like this, take them to 12-12, and then you put your foot down?
I'd be so annoyed.
I guess it's the first time we're really seeing Deadfox as well challenging out towards Alu, or even Alu playing towards middle as well. It hasn't been much of it. We saw that round when he kind of got up close and got to highway and did some damage, but still. Right now, another smoke goes in from Angel, one of his own. He can trust in that one now. Kind of denies what they're trying to peek out there. You could see that left a gap for them to be able to peek towards the boost spot. Nico wall banging over by the forklift. And towards, I guess, the left side of the red container out there. That kind of works too. And at the moment, HellRaisers is going to flex back into this and push themselves back on towards the boost. So trying to put them to a position that's already been kind of pre-checked, I guess.
FaZe now have to take the foot off the gas a little bit more. They still have Rain, who's had a good game so far as well. His last few rounds have been impeccable. Okay, sees the flash coming from Bonic. He knows he's there. Doesn't really help FaZe in the grand scheme of things. They still need to pick a site now. They decide to go for B here. It has to be one or the other at this stage, and they've both got 2 players on them. Zero's in a great spot to catch Kyo, but he comes for a wider swing, and Zero can't keep track of him there. Nicely done, but there's Sticko. 2 from Hell. And Deadfox now to wait above. It's just Rain. He's got the bomb. He'll try and go for a plant here and get a little bit of extra cash.
I doubt... Yeah, Rain's been on point, but I doubt this is possible. They're so close, but no, he's going to find one, and the second slips away. No possibilities there.
FaZe Clan fans don't despair too much here. They've lost this round, but the overall impact of their economy is not going to be overly clear to see unless they lose a couple more rounds here as well. It's possible that they could be put in sort of an eco situation, maybe right at the end, but have to really spend heavily here. You can see, no, they're maxed out. Not going to happen. I check myself before I wreck myself. They're looking pretty good. So they buy back in. HellRaisers, it's just a long road to hoe now for them. They need to sort of break down this economy. And FaZe can make it harder for HellRaisers by inflicting more casualties and making them closer. So it's a good position to be in if you're FaZe.
Yeah, there's always that reset potential as well. That is what looms this round for HellRaisers, and they know it. That's very in the back of their minds. This is now the imperative one to string together these rounds. Give yourself a chance of a buffer. Don't allow FaZe to rip it away just as you've got a glimmer of hope. But no instant kills, no early kills coming in. FaZe slowing down a little here and not allowing those quick picks to come through for Deadfox, which we saw before. Sticko, this position is very, very scary, but he does. He's been doing okay from it so far. We'll see what they can find now, as FaZe really do just slow this right down.
That's a very assertive position from Sticko. But no one's showing in mid. It's going to be the mid take here as well. So Sticko now, I mean, he can sort of passively peek vent, but he's not going to get any crossfire from Deadfox. And this cuts Deadfox out of this fight for the next, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds. And there you go. Nicely done by FaZe. Piecemeal. They break the map apart, and now they have mid control.
It's a really smart way to isolate Sticko away from the teammates. You highlighted it before, you know, how it kind of cut him away. And it just works out so well. Nice flash there will hinder, I think that's Alu's approach, or Kyo, excuse me. And then the swing out, he's been able to kind of push one aside and find the fight towards Carrigan. It works well. FaZe now dwindling numbers, just trailing by 1, but now the player in mid can start having his way with them. Nico's down to almost nothing, 18 HP, but it's Kyo to come through with Nico, and both of them just double up, team up, and find the work.
Angel probably could have had an extra kill there if he hadn't switched his aim to the full health player on FaZe there. Nico was already so low after the first volley of shots. Now Nico's going to be sandwiched in between the two. He can make this happen. Real big switch towards the right. No, Deadfox meets him, and HellRaisers, okay, now it's getting dangerous. They start to find themselves late in the game once again. Better late than never, especially. The pressure's on for FaZe Clan here. And you can see Kyo goes down 1,200. So, yeah, I mean, still enough to spread the wealth here.
The thing is, as well, look at the money on HellRaisers. It is still a very poor buy. It's enough to get one together. They still kept 2 alive, which was very, very important, considering they were able to keep the guns in the important hands. The AWP still in play. Sticko, though, a little worse for wear, but maybe a bit of a different piece from FaZe here. They look like maybe they've hit a bit of a brick wall at the moment. Just a couple of rounds lost back-to-back. It was very close, though. Still, Sticko will be playing from garbage this time, a little bit of different spots, and Alu going to find a very quick kill before Zero can get a second bullet off.
That's what Alu provides that we don't actually see from a lot of AWP players. Even when a player's planting or trying to defuse, he'll just walk straight up on the bomb and take that kill at close range. So that's beautiful opening for him. Leading from the front, and HellRaisers have to leave this site completely. Given the level of their economy right now and knowing that FaZe can buy up until overtime, they might actually go for, 4-gun save here. This is very rare to see. The HellRaisers know that, having to buy a FAMAS back in this round, FaZe have been making it costly, even in winning rounds. Especially
on cash as well. A 4-man save on this map is super rare. Things like Inferno, maybe a little more likely. A couple of maps, you can see it happening, but this is very unique. But they need to. They have no other option.
It's more about the fact that they've lost so much map control than the fact that they've lost the players, right? Yeah, we'll only lose one player, that's fine, but retaking B with a man disadvantage, it's really difficult.
And Nico's going hunting. You can see him hot on the trail. He's hearing all this. Does get caught by Bondic, but how many are they going to keep alive? 2? Dead Fox, depending on that smoke, and he does stay alive. But the money's now gone on, I guess, 2 players, but 3, I guess, with Angel as well.
And now this is FaZe's reward. This is how they get rewarded for actually getting so many consecutive rounds and building an economy. You can see how much of an impact it makes now and how much pressure it puts on HellRaisers. It changes the way they play. They've got to assess the game state and think ahead to the next few rounds and go, oh, we can't really go for this. They still have a chance, though. They're not forcing up around this AWP and AK combo, which is very sensible. They need to be sensible right now if they want to close this game out. That's a lovely start. CT-sided aggression. We love to see it, especially when it works out.
Yeah, you really do. That's beautiful. And then they can just leave Zero to however he feels comfortable. Nico looks to try and even the odds, and he actually loses out here. They've run into both of the kind of, I guess, the sharp end of the stick here at this point, and Angel gets the perfect timing on Rain, and that flash just hindered him so much. Smoke goes in now. Ali wants to play out on his own. He does catch out Angel, but there's already a player towards the side, that being Bondic, and Dead Fox. So quick and so ready. And Halu just completely unawares.
This is perfect for HellRaisers. It's such a clean round for them. Kiyoshima now needs to try and do some economic damage here, but Zero, Angel, and Sticko didn't buy anything at all. Maybe some utility for the start of the round. But in a losing round here, FaZe Clan wanted to at least get these guns away. But they haven't done that. HellRaisers are going to win the round out with 3 basic pistols. An AWP and an AK. That's insane. That's nutty. And that's really annoying for FaZe. Not what you want to get in this round. And that's the buffer. That's the comfort zone you put HellRaisers in. Yes, they have to still play against a completely bought up FaZe Clan. But they do it with weapons of their own. Double AWP now coming in.
That was so impressively done. Sticko, please play on.
What's Dead Fox not AWPing? Sticko has money? Confusion. I don't blame them for being confused. This is kind of one of those more fringe situations in economy that you see. Not often you see a team win, what, like 10 rounds in a row and then you have to fight back against them.
No,
so 2 AWPs.
It's kind of mad, isn't it? Now Angel fancies a little bit of a go at this. The problem is there's already a player kind of sitting anti-flash and kind of waiting it out. Angel's trying to secure himself a spot here to try and play from, but he does get caught. Not used to this, and oh my god, as if this is happening now. Nico lands a shot, but Sticko is there to try and keep the pieces together, but out in the open with a molly in hand. What are you doing? Rain, how are you going to take that chance?
This is one of the weirdest games of CS I've seen in quite some time. This is not good for HellRaisers at all. And they have to sit on this. They really have to... Ooh, careful. That was almost a wider peak than I thought it would be from Dead Fox there. But no one was at truck anyway for FaZe. So the situation now is that Angel, Bondic, and Sticko obviously need to rebuy next round. Angel's got 3,300. It's going to have a bit more, obviously. Bondic, okay, so they can still buy in the next round. That's pretty helpful for them. They do not want to lose these weapons here, though. There is a risk as well that an AWP might have to be passed out for Dead Fox if he loses it. He only has 800 left. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice.
Got to stay alive. Got to keep that money. Kyo's not far, is he? But I don't think he can get there in time nor does he really fancy it. Carrigan? No, both of them stay alive. Right. This is such a weird game, Mitch. It just seems so back and forth for the weirdest reasons, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like a situation that really illustrates how the economy really has a direct impact on how you play a round, not even just the game in general. You can see that buffer for FaZe can buy out for the rest of the game. It's pretty insane. I mean, they earned it. That money was in their pockets. When they actually had to rebuy weapons, 3 players had 16K, so that's perfect. But it's a 4 buy for HellRaisers. Sticko just spending the extra money. Of course, it's the end of regulation, so he goes for Zeus. They can close it out here. Another 16-14. Oh, that's that would hurt so much for FaZe here. They need at least 1 map tonight.
Yeah, it looks like their T sides are still pretty strong. It's just where have those CT sides been? What happened? Now, FaZe looking for early chances. HellRaisers look a little bit more hesitant to go for that early aggression. Of course, why would you? You kind of get a little nervous here. It's 15-14. Now, excuse me. Dead Fox again, looking for a little bit of play through towards B, towards Sunrim, but there's a player very passively waiting on the other side. Now the A hit might be building.
2 smokes on A here. It's got to be a slow round from FaZe. They've really got to pace themselves into it. Kio's not going to do much at B, so it still should be a bit of an A hit now, or in under a minute. And this is good. This is nice passive play from Sticko. Finds Alu. That's not good. He's lost the AWPer. That was supposed to break open the A site from Highway. Now FaZe have to just barrel through A main and Squeaky and try and win out the duels.
And Sticko saw the player in mid, so calls to Zero to watch for the mid push up. And the 3 players remain for FaZe. They are going to be going towards A, so they do still have a good shout. This Kerrigan's got his way through, but on his own. He's taking the fight towards Highway and he wins it.
No way.
Towards Bondic, no! Angel's there! Tries teaming together, but doesn't trade out all of that effectively. It's down to a 2v2. Rain, AHP, and Nico with the bomb to hand.
Back behind the forklift now, bomb going down, and the pressure starting to mount for HellRaisers. They may have just let this one get too far out of hand. Both have kits. That's not the issue. There's an AWP, and Rain is very low, but he's going to tap away here. Can he get the kill? He can. Zero falls. Last shot through the brickwork, and Dead Fox has to retake with an AWP. 1 versus 2, and time is ticking away. Better decision. Trades over towards the M4. Now 1 player comes out. He needs a second. He needs to correct, and no! FaZe push it to overtime. And I don't even know if it's a matter of these 2 teams being just so good, or on such an even kill, or both of them just being not on their game. It's got to be overtime here, and the dream continues.
I don't know if it's a dream or a nightmare for who. You know, you saw FaZe pulling it just back, then letting a strange round slip against 1 AK and 1 AWP and 3 pistols. Then you saw, obviously, you know, it's been such a topsy-turvy game where things that just shouldn't happen come through like that. So I think we are going straight to live, so hopefully that shouldn't take too long here, because there isn't much to say about this one, really. It's just been one of those very strange games where, you know, FaZe go missing on their CT side, it seems.
All we can really do here is just try and hang on for the ride. It's basically like a big old rodeo here. I don't know even who's kicking harder at the moment. But again, you know, I thought it was done. Alu's in mid. He's making that pretty aggressive play up on towards the top of the roller. Obviously, he wants to really just break, especially if HellRaisers have had stacked the A site with a 3rd player. That's where you're going to see a little bit more from him. I can't believe it. FaZe, that's that individual skill. It does shine. Maybe less tonight than we're used to seeing it, but it does.
Now, Sticko, going to be mollied out of checkers, loses a little bit of the info play they could have got going towards B, but it is only Kerrigan there. And FaZe this time playing, again, the slow mid play. It could be the double smokes towards mid and maybe that lean towards the B site. But with Nico still by Squeaky, it's kind of hard to see that happening. There's the double smoke, so it would isolate anyone close towards middle, but no one's actually there this time. So again, FaZe, they'll get play towards mid, but they won't get that early presence they'd want or that kind of early pick they'd be playing for.
Kerrigan, this might be, yeah, he pushed into the Molotov anyway there, so I don't know what he was hoping for, what was on the other side of the smoke, but very little. That was Alu, though. He's found the pick on towards Angel, and this is only 1 player at that A side, and Bonnet goes down. So this is, again, FaZe being just very dynamic on that T side. First couple of kills go in their favor, and Dead Fox can only really can barely interact, really, at the site for now with that smoke up. You can see Alu's there. Doesn't mean he can do anything about it yet.
No, it's still very hard to play retake to this, especially when they control that forklift position. It holds the cross basically in from both sides of things. So Zero and Dead Fox are going to have to try and work that one out. Same for Sticko here. There's still, I think, Rain and Nico sitting on the boost by Quad, tapping away. Nico there, going to find the head of Sticko. Alu finds Dead Fox, and there's a closeout by Nico as well. 3 kills for him this round, and FaZe get another on the board. And
the fact of the matter is that even in his darkest hour, Nico is still Nico. His scoreline reads 17 for 7, and I think that was maybe because of a reconnect. Oh, it might not have been. He might have just been staying alive so long, it could even be wrong. But if he did reconnect at some point, 17-7 is pretty nutty for him, and it definitely shows you know, an increase in performance over that last half. So that's definitely something that FaZe can lean on.
Big B hit coming through. Zero, is he going to do something or is he going to be overwhelmed? Dead Fox is going to make the call. You better ready yourself, and now the problem begins. He gets overwhelmed and opens it up. FaZe, again, just depending on that raw firepower, and it works in these situations, it seems. This is why it seems like it just pans out for them sometimes. You've got Rain just sliding into this. Ooh, very low on HP though, Sticko. Only he knew how close he was.
And now FaZe fans are seeing what they need to see. They're seeing Nico and they're seeing Rain do what they do best. be the battering rams, of course, and be that surgeon's knife sometimes when some more subtlety is required to break into these sites, and it's done very nicely. It's a 4v2 now, and guess what? HellRaisers have to back on up here. Bear in mind, it's MR3, and if you lose the first 2 rounds, more often than not, you won't be able to buy much in the last one. So they actually have to save here. This is why we actually saw players like Chris J, for example, buy a UMP in the first round of overtime in Mousesport's game, just so he could buy in that third if it all went wrong.
Yeah, that might have just gone wrong. Losing out on both those players means the money's going to be pretty much a really rough time. Yeah, you're down to pistols. It's not what you ever want to have on the CT side.
And this is why, I mean, this is an example outside of what happens in regulation with economy, but you can snowball overtimes pretty comfortably.
But the more important thing for FaZe as well is, okay, I really like the Kyo's AWPing. He's got the spawn for it, so you can hop up and have a little look if he fancies. What are you going to be doing? He's just watching the B push. So nothing like
didn't go
all
on the
that.
sign, yeah.
Yeah, nothing to write home about here, but aggression towards middle. A lot of players there for HellRaisers. 2 towards the boost. Well, this plays in Sticko, I guess, but he's only got a mag 7.
This guy, you can only look. Oh, okay.
Only?
I was going to say you can only look on and watch, but maybe that was not the case. He had just the right range for Rain. Now it's going to Zero getting involved. The shot towards Carragher was beautiful. The smoke was just starting to clear, and he's found the head. That's going to hurt in the morning.
Bombs.
The bomb is loose.
Yeah, that's so bad. They've recovered an AWP, and they've got a FAMAS, so I guess they've got something to fight with. FaZe, what is this?
What is this game?
Zero, gonna find Kyo. And Nico now unleashes. You got 1 minute and 7 seconds to work this one out, Nico. Show me what you can do.
HellRaisers brought into this round with sweet Fanny Adams. Nothing, nada, zilch. Or very close to that at least, and yet up against FaZe Clan, they may have just kept themselves afloat in this overtime. It would be a very dire circumstances going into the next half at 0-3 in this overtime. Now, Nico. This will force positioning, and there's no crossfire available for Zero if Deadbox is forced. That's really nice. Very clever. He knows there's another player on the other side of mid.
Does he find Zero? It's all on how Zero plays this and how Nico plays. It looks like he's got an idea he's there. I don't know if he's 100% sure if he's got maybe an inkling. Oh, he does. And the unorthodox angle, he's baited him out. This is so smart for Nico. Win it or not, I don't care. This is so smart. Turns the flash.
Oh, he's sick.
Such a... He's a sick gamer, isn't he, Mitch?
He's so sick. Like, he plays that wheelie role. Like, fundamentally, you know you need to make that into 2 1v1s if you're going to win it out. Fortunately, the topography of that particular part of the map means that he can create that situation for himself. The Molotov is great. He had utility. That's the most important part there. That's why you buy it at the start of the damn round. Molotov forced out position from Dead Fox. He knew Zero was going to be there, and then he just used incredible game sense to win out that duel. Just took that first little pot shot, took him down to 77%, and the rest was history. Stunning. Fantastic stuff from Nico, and that's why he is as famous as he is and considered to be one of the best. Love it, Lauren.
That was absolutely brilliant. Very big fan of that. Not bad at all. Now, this wasn't the issue, though. The T side wasn't bad from FaZe. That's when they kind of brought this comeback together. It was the CT side that seemed really, really out of sorts for FaZe. So this is their time to turn around.
Yeah, and I mean, short of obviously wanting to close out the game as soon as possible, you can actually go for a bit more of a wackier buy in the first round of this overtime, now knowing that FaZe actually can't lose the game, even if they get swept aside in the second half. Now, maybe that's not where they want to go from, but it's an option. They can play a little bit differently, only in that one round. So the pressure's on HellRaisers here. They need to play a perfect second half. We'll see how it goes. AWP's bought for Dead Fox and Alu. I want to see what HellRaisers' approach is. They play it fairly slow like we have seen. They don't really have, I guess, the breaking power that FaZe has when they enter onto these sites.
No, this is where it gets interesting, isn't it? Can FaZe just somehow pull it together? Pull it out of the bag almost? Because this was appalling.
He is the Nico boost. This is so sick.
Nico goes up. Now, he did this before and it worked because he did the whole Batman ordeal, and again, got in the Dark Knight, it's worked. Bondit goes down, backs away completely, well, almost unscathed. He'll drop a nice little pop flash towards main. Get that going. Plays in well, plays in rain, even better. And what a shambles of a beginning for HellRaisers.
Terrible start, and it's Nico, and he's known. He's so feared up on this A site. Regardless of what side he's playing on, this really is his home. Dead Fox falling there as well. That was just wallbang, by the way. Nico just plugs him straight through the door. And this looks like to be it. It's going to be Sticko on his own now, and it was an admirable performance from HellRaisers. And they keep themselves up in this. They get the first map here, but it should be all done and dusted. And old mate here is definitely going to get the short end of the stick. Having to enter a side against 3. No utility but 1 flash. That's all he's going to have to work with. First spray down's there, and it's not going to be enough, though. FaZe win out the second map. These two teams split the series. Lauren, it's bizarre CS, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it feels like that is the perfect summary of jet-lagged CS with this weird way of paid out. But FaZe, to be fair, that T-side was very, very powerful. The C-side certainly up in the air in question, but it is what it is. They do manage to grind out in overtime. I guess in a way, I'm kind of glad they got to start on that T-side and show what they could actually bring there in OT. You got to feel for HellRaisers. They had the advantage, but again, I guess you got to close it out when it matters.
That's right. 1-1 it is. FaZe Clan still keep their playoffs hopes alive, but it's not exactly stellar. Let's head over to the desk. I am absolutely interested to hear what the gents have to say on this one.
Yeah, certainly not a pretty win, but it did take overtime this time. FaZe do bring it forward. That's, at least they come back to this one. They had another slow start in this map, which is a little bit concerning.
Never a doubt in my mind.
Would you say it's a tale of two halves?
I think so, Chad. I think that's accurate.
To actually break that down a little bit more, that round from Angel on the T side with the Galil where he pushed down and got 4 frags on that A bomb side basically just completely ruined that FaZe squad. This Rain did the same thing, right? And it was a very similar point in the game on the other side, and I thought I didn't think it was going to go to overtime, but you know, FaZe with another good comeback, and they're able to actually take this one out. So good for them.
It was almost identical scenes to what we saw in train.
Exactly.
12-3 in the first half. Looked like FaZe were completely checked out. Didn't have any chance to actually get into the game whatsoever. Then all of a sudden, they win the pistol. And you have to say that Rain and Nico combination. What was going on there? How many clutches they went together? As soon as they're in like a 2-on-5 situation, you just feel like it's always going to be possible for them, and it's always beautiful to watch. And it seemed like Lauren was saying, classic kind of jet lag CS. Wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. Looking much better in overtime as they kind of warmed up into it. And Cash, overall, we did expect FaZe to win it, but I don't think they really should have done, considering what they presented on the CT half. But winning the pistol, they're always going to have a chance to get back into those games.
I think that was super tilted, right? When you saw their T-side pistol with all those deagles and stuff. We know they like to buy deagles, but at that point it's just like, well, we don't really care. Well, not they don't really care. Of course they care, but they seem like they're going for something extremely out of the box. And it did pay off, and that's where it all kind of spiraled out of control for HellRaisers.
Is there anything to the weaker CT sides in this kind of situation? Anything to that at all, or is it just...
I think I've like hashed it out like a million times that it's like kind of a gamble in the way you approach it. If the T's are like outmaneuvering you, which they were, and then when you did get advantages like Nico did, and then Angel came in and still got a 4K and completely ruined any hope in that round, that's where it kind of falls apart.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, this is nice for FaZe in that they still keep the playoff hopes alive. They don't go 0-2. That's kind of the big takeaway from this is thank God they won 1. We'll have to see if they can qualify for the playoffs tomorrow. That's going to be the last day of the regular season. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we have the second matchup coming up for you.